You have not seen anything like this because this doesn't look right, does it? Yep, I actually have a pirate lord placed on land on a map which has absolutely no water. Now, how did that happen? Well, obviously it had to do something with the Lord of the Abyss, but there is actually a very cool bug happening in BT6. You guys probably know that you can place water towers onto the Lord of the Abyss Inc. platform, but the bug that's currently active in BT6 is that if you move the Lord of the Abyss using a Chinook, the tower is actually gonna stay there. So what can you do with this super fun and interesting bug? Well, we could try and get 2 million pops on the pirate lord on a map that has no water. And I know that it might sound easy, but in reality I think it's really tricky. In fact, I'm not even sure that we're gonna be able to do it, but let me walk you guys through everything that's happening. So in order for us to try get 2 million pops on the pirate lord, we need to be able to buy it. If we want to buy it, we need to buy the Lord of the Abyss first, which is a very expensive tier 5, and then start collecting pops. And I actually ran the numbers on this, and it turns out that on round 49 you get about $35,000 cumulatively, and the price of the Lord of the Abyss is about 32k. Now we want to buy some side towers obviously, so about around 49, around 50 is gonna be the expected time frame for our Lord of the Abyss. And then I took a look at the numbers of the amount of pops that we have left over, because when you're doing a 2 million pops, you guys probably know this by now, but I'm just gonna mention it quickly. The amount of total pops available on chips mode is 2,042,000. So basically what this means is that we have about 42,000 pops to spare on other towers before the pirate lord can take over, and actually that number of 40,000 gets crossed on round 53. So basically what I'm saying is that we have up until round 53 to get the Lord of the Abyss and then some sort of a buccaneer going if we even want to have a shot at doing this in the first place. And I actually did a couple of attempts and I was not able to do it. Do I think it's possible? Yes, but even if we don't even get close to it, even if we're like a couple pops off 2 million, we're still gonna really try hard and make sure that we at least get as close to 2 million as possible, right? So let's start things off I think maybe we go something like this. We get the pin upgrade on the NG. I really don't want to be spending money on other towers, but I feel like the pin is going to be necessary, and maybe some micro now that I think about this. Oh yeah, we're going to leak on 15. Alright, so buy the pin and then have the NG on last. I have him like this because he's far away from the track, so he's not stealing pops because every pop matters in this one. And then he's also going to be attacking down the straight line. We could also buy some upgrades on the Mermonkey. Let's go like this, Trident Efficiency. Yeah, that makes 15 a lot easier, and actually it's going to stabilize us for all these upcoming early game rounds. I tried positioning the Mermonkey, by the way, in like a spot in which it's still going to be able to attack because it's going to be the carry, but at the same time you don't want to have it too much inside of the action. And this is again one of these other things that make these things so tricky. So let's say we have the Lord of the Abyss like this and the Pirate Lord goes like this. That's a prime spot for the Pirate Lord, but it's actually terrible for the Lord of the Abyss because it's going to be taking a lot of pops. If you have it like this, it's still in a very good prime spot, and I think it's still going to be able to attack on the top side. So you want to have it as far away as possible, but at the same time in kind of a spot so it's going to set you up to buy a good Buccaneer placement, right? So let's see how we're doing on 21. As soon as we get the Abyss lower, we're going to stabilize because that's going to be like a huge damage boost for us. But oh my god, this is one red balloon. Let's move this guy to first now because there was a yellow balloon, and I think we're going last now because I see a single pink balloon. There we go. We snipe it, go back on first, and there it is. Nick, we're going to have the money for the Abyss Baller right now. There it is. Alright, so because every single pop matters for this thing, I came up with this. I think we buy the mortar actually for the leads on 28 because you can retarget it. Now, I'm not exactly a fan of this because the mortar is $810. So if you guys remember, we have like 35k up until around 49. So the more money we're spending on these side towers, the further away, everything is the Lord of the Abyss, and then, we might not have enough money to buy the Monkey Pirates on time. And then keep in mind, we're also going to have to buy a support Chinook in order to move the Lord of the Abyss away so it doesn't take any pops, which just makes this thing so much more complicated. Alright, so in comes your Moab around 40. Let's see how we're gonna deal with this thing. We can obviously spend money with Geraldo and his items, but ideally I don't want to do that. The good thing with the Abyssal Warrior is that it slows down Moab class Bloons, so it's gonna get a couple of hits off. Let's see how much damage this thing is gonna do. I think we one-shot the ceramics with the tentacles, by the way. Oh no, he's not attacking it actually when the Moab's on the upside. Oh no, we're missing so much damage, and we do get the pop on the Moab. Wait, how close is this actually? What if I micro the mortar so we get the mortar does 2 damage per shot, so what if we just follow it along? Can we get get an extra like 20 damage. This is gonna make a difference. Okay, is this actually gonna do it? 20 plus damage. It was really close. I feel like it, you know, as funny as it sounds, we might actually have it like this if we don't miss our mortar shots. So let's see if we can get the pop on the ceramics. We're gonna one shot. Oh my god, it actually did. That is ridiculous. Alright, so I'm pretty sure the Abyssal Warrior defends by himself. So 25k the price on this guy. I mean, listen, if Ninja Kiwi gets the price down on this guy by like 4,000, that's my that might be a little bit too much. But hey, listen, get the price down on this guy by like 4k, and I guarantee you this thing is like even easily doable. Yes, there we go. And the mats, guys, it is almost there. It's almost there. It's round 50 at the start with like 50 bucks left. Alright, so let's try and pop these lead balloons with the mortar. Just follow along, and then we're gonna have the money in a second. So bam, we buy the Lord of the Abyss, and now it's just we just need to go. We need to start buying up these Buccaneers as fast as possible. So we have the button. There we go. This is where he's gonna be. Do we have Jerry's Fire for this guy? Actually, I'm watching this up at the back. Oh my god, this is so close. Okay, we did get it. So I'm gonna move the mortar away here in the top right corner. Let's get some upgrades going, like the hot shot, the fast shit. Actually, was that a little bit too many upgrades? Hopefully not. Let's give this guy some camo detection, and then let's give him Jerry's Fire as well. I know you guys hate it, but this is how it's supposed to go, guys. There's no other way to do this without Gerald, I'm pretty sure. Let's get the double shot. And so now that the Buccaneer is taking pops, the question is, let's actually check the pops on the other house. So 29k pops on the Abyssal, on the Lord of the Abyss, about 1,500 on the NG, and then 2.3. See, the pops are adding up. Like, we've taken a lot of pops from these side towers. Jerry, how much does Jerry have? He's got like 300 on him. The problem is that once these like mob class balloons start coming out, we don't exactly have a way of dealing with them. And keep in mind, we need to still buy the Chinook so that we can move away the Lord of the Abyss. So basically, it's just gonna be on Jerry's Fire to deal with these guys, and it's not. Look at this thing. He's not. They're walking into the Lord of the Abyss. I don't like this. I mean, honestly, what else do you do? Like, we could pickle it. I'm not sure if the pickle is actually going to be like a good idea. We could give it the sharpening stone, I guess, and then maybe we could start placing these totems so we stall the balloons. But the stall doesn't work on mob class balloons. It only works on small balloons so far. We're going to need to get the upgraded version for that. A huge wave. I'm actually going to drop the glue so that we pop as many of these balloons with the boat. But no, so that's the problem. The problem is the mob class balloons, actually, because I think we're dealing with the small balloons. I mean, look at this thing. It's 54. Everything is getting popped. Okay, so we do have the money from the monkey parts. I'm going to buy this thing as fast as possible. I think we're going to need to drop some glues from Geraldo when the pierce of this thing expires if we're not dealing with them. Are they walking into a mermonkey? I don't think they are, actually. Maybe the last wave is going to walk in. Yeah, so go like this. Drop a glue for the fourth wave, and then the Jerry's Fire is going to expire on the next round, so we need to make sure we replace that thing. And how are the pops doing, guys? I'm not sure. Like, things are still walking into this mermonkey. Okay, let's go like this. Let's get some camo detection again for our boat. 32.7k pops. This feels so possible, actually. Okay, let me check the price on the Chinook. It was like 10 point something, 10.2k. Alright, but the base heli is expensive. Downdraft is like 3.8 by itself. So we're gonna need, with the base heli tower, we're gonna need like 15k to buy this whole thing. Here's what I'm gonna do. I'm actually gonna go for a glue. I think we need to just slow down these mob class balloons. I know that this is gonna delay the Chinook, but like I don't think it's happening if we continue down the path that we're already going. The mermonkeys is like 35k pops, and we have a combined, let's round these guys up, these three guys up to like 4k pops. So we're sitting at like 39k pops basically, and income 63. Now, how do we deal with 63 by only using our monkey parts? I don't think we do, guys. This guy's taking all the pops, and there's no way for us to actually... I mean, I guess we could just slow install these balloons. What if we drop... let's actually do this. Let's drop Cherry's glue for the second wave of ceramics and see if the monkey parts can pop it on time. It cannot. It actually cannot, no. Oh, that actually sucks, but you guys can see how close it is. I'm still gonna try hard, by the way, by the end of this game, so we're gonna try and leak as little as possible, but let's actually go for the Chinook now. So log it in place here so it doesn't take away any pops. I'm gonna use the hook ability onto these fortifieds, and it's gonna be... this one is gonna be around 70, right? Where we finally get the money for this thing. Some of the pops are gonna go into the Lord of the Abyss. He's sitting at 51. No, that's a little bit too much, but it's so close. You guys can see how close it actually is. We have the money for the support Chinook. I'm gonna buy it. Let's remove this guy as fast as possible, but I don't want to completely remove it from the track because the Pirate Lord is kind of weak. Actually, it's the monkey parts right now, so I'm gonna have him like this, and then he is gonna be doing the majority of the damage for sure. But just in case something leaks like this, we do have the Lord of the Abyss to kind of pick it up at the back because I don't think we have a cow potion. Yeah, we don't have a cow potion from Geraldo yet. Alright, so entering around 81 with about 20.5k, and we should have the money for the Part Lord on 82, I believe. The problem is that these rounds are a little bit more tricky nowadays, so let's start like this. Use the last glue, by the way, that we have. We can knock back or at least stun these mob class Bloons a little bit with the creepy idols, so I'm gonna place like 2 of them just so we keep the majority of the pops here in the range of the monkey pirates. We do have an upgraded sharpening stone. I mean, listen, it's not gonna do a lot, but I'm gonna drop it anyways. And how are we standing with Geraldo's levels? Oh, we're missing just a little bit for level 16. Level 16 is gonna make the Jerry's burn damage a little bit stronger, so I guess we want to get every single little bit that we can. But how is 81 looking? I mean, it's as expected. It's like these ceramics leaking on the other side, although not as many though. I think the monkey pirate is actually doing fine. Alright, so Jerry's fire again, and then no more glues left. Guys, I think what else are we doing? Like, I had the glue somewhere around here. Where is it? There it is. Okay, let me buy the glue splatter. I guess it's like $1,000. I don't mind spending the money for it if we can slow down a couple more of these guys. Are the creepy idols holding? I think they are. You know what? I'm gonna buy one more actually. Let's have one more like this. And there it is. It's gonna be this one, guys. Round 83. Finally, we get the money for the Part Lord. Let me buy. This is a huge damage boost, by the way. I'm also gonna be spamming the Part Lord ability so that we don't actually let Bloons, you know, make it here down. Let's move the Lord of the Abyss somewhere on the side because we don't need it anymore. Now let's start buying up some upgrades for our tower. So for example, a stronger stim on the alchemist. What else do we want to get? Probably the relentless glue, honestly. I'm gonna go for like the most meta defensive utility towers that you can find. Things become a lot easier once you get the Part Lord. So for example, we can do this, hook 2 ZMGs at once. We also started things off with an NG, and we can make the NG into an overclock actually. So let's try and save money for that. And it's around 89. We finally get the money for the overclock. So I'm gonna buy the overclock, and then what else? I would really love to get something like an absolute zero, but that thing is gonna be stealing away a little bit of the pops. So maybe we should be playing off of Sabos and a mid-path village if we can afford it. If we get to the call to arms, that's gonna be insane. And let's try and save as much money as possible. So let's hook these DDTs. I'm gonna use Jerry's Fire. This is, by the way, the upgraded version of the Jerry's Fire. I think we should be having no issues in dealing with these rounds. I'm gonna buy the Relentless Glue because it's tower that I absolutely love, so keep it up for just keep it like this. A small amount of stun goes a really long way for a tower like this. Let's use the Part Lord ability onto the ZMGs that are incoming behind these mobs. Use it a little bit early, but I want to get it off cooldown as well because 9-3 is gonna have DDTs, so we're not exactly that good versus DDTs. We actually need to figure out what we want to do versus them. So look, if we just let the Part Lord attack, I mean, does it even pop the DDTs? It does. It pops a couple of them, but some Bloons actually do make it on the other side, and this is not something that you want to see. Okay, so for 95, we need to do a couple of things. By the way, 94 is being dealt with absolutely no problem, so there's nothing actually to see on this round, but I'm just kind of thinking about 95 now. So 95, we're not going to have enough money for the glue storm. We could probably buy something like a 420 ice to deal it and just get some extra damage. Or we could buy, now that I think about this, let's actually do it. We can buy a 042 glue strike and we can refresh the cooldown by using Jerry's rejuves. Okay, let's actually try and do that. So go like this. The first one is, it's off cooldown, but I'm going to wait a little bit and now use it again. Go like this. The Part Lord ability is up, so I'm going to use it and I'm going to refresh the cooldowns and then do the same thing again. So first things first, go like this. The overclock is up. I'm going to use that as well. And how are the pops doing? Okay, so all the glued ones are popped, so I'm going to hook them and then do we need to do another rejuve? I think I'm going to do it. Let's do one more and let's hook all these DDTs, and that was a perfect round 95. Jerry is the man, isn't he? Yeah, he's what a hero Geraldo is. That's all I have to say about him. So let's go like this. Maybe we should have bought the glue and instead of like the millet, so he slows the Bloons down as well. We can move him. We have the Chinook. What am I talking about? I'm not used to buying the Chinook and Chips run, so I'm surprised by some of the towers that I have currently. And how are the pops doing? It's going on to 1.5 million pops, guys. I'm telling you, this is so close. All right, so this is 98. This is the big one, and we need to be kind of careful about what we want to do on this one. So I'm going to start things off by using the Part Lord ability, basically just dump everything, but I'm also going to start placing up these creepy idols. Jerry's level 19, so we're going to get a restock on the shop, so I don't mind actually using all of them at this point. We're playing off of the Part Lord abilities, which can hook 2 ZMGs at once, and then I guess everything else is just going to have to be dealt with by the main attack, which I do believe is strong enough. We're also helping it out a little bit with the glue. Let's drop this thing as well. Let's drop the glue strike ability, like below the extra damage, I guess. We do have like $23,000 in case we want to buy something, but let's just kind of chill for our first attempt and see if we just need to intervene with the money so far. Alright, so doing kind of well. The creepy islands are doing their thing. A lot of Bloons being pushed back. I can also see some leaks here on the side. Hopefully we pick them up. Oh, something leaked actually. Okay, what's those but doesn't take away pops? A Sabo. That's the only tower that comes to mind. So I'm gonna buy one single Sabo. We're gonna have the rejuve restock, so in case we need to use another one, we can just do that. And let's start things off the same way. Let's just dump all the abilities, wait for the Sabo to come off cooldown, and then just dump it, I guess, immediately as fast as possible. I also placed all these 4 creepy idols. Let's do it again with the Part Lord abilities. So I think we eliminated 4 ZMG so far. That's really good. That's a lot of RB on a round like this one. It's looking a lot better than last time. I think the Sabo is doing a huge amount of heavy lifting on this one. The overclock is ready again, so I'm going to use it. And then if we can get like one more ability, that's going to be great, but it's not looking too hot. I mean, the good news is that there are not a lot of Bloons left, but some of them are making it on the other side, so hopefully we don't leak. Again, I still have not moved the glue, and this thing seems to be helping because all these ceramics are actually being slowed down. And yes, there we go. That's all we needed, just a single Sabo. Alright, so for 99, here's what we're going to do. We get the restock, so let's start things off by using the Sabo. We're going to wait for all these 45 deities to come out, and then we're going to hook them. We're not going to get all of them, but we do have the glue strike, so I'm going to use that, and we should be able to pop them with the normal auto attacks now. I think let's do the overclock as well. There we go. Let's check the pops. 1.913. So what do we do about around 100? We're gonna need a lot of damage for this one. We have $22,000. What can we buy so that we don't take away any pops? I'm thinking. I think for our first round, I'm actually not gonna do anything and see if it's gonna work like this. We do have the rejuve. As soon as we pop the battle layer, we can basically hook all of the insides. We have a solution for the insides. It's just that we need to pop this guy. How is it looking? I can't exactly tell. A lot of explosions. I think this is the last damage stage, so very, very close. Oh, he's not attacking. Maybe we could buy a Desperado and extend his range a little bit, because this is looking really, really close, guys. But we're gonna enter the range of all of our other towers. They're gonna take a small amount of pops. Actually, it's not gonna be too bad. Oh, there we go. Let's use this. Use the Sabo. Get the hook again with the rejuve. We do get it done, but what's the amount of pops? Let's actually see. Oh, 20k pops off. It's possible, guys. I'm telling you, this is so close for 20k pops, but you know what? It was a super fun run. Maybe it's possible with the fish. Maybe we're gonna give it a shot with the beast handler, but that's gonna be it for this one. Thank you guys so much for watching the video, and I'm gonna see you on the next one.